Good morning. Good morning. It is fixture release day, one of the most highly anticipated. Oh, my mic is not working. Gosh, what a poor start to proceedings. Should have checked that. I jumped on. That's better. That is better. Welcome to fixture release day. One of the most highly anticipated days in the football calendar, even though the football hasn't started yet. And we've got 15 minutes until the news comes out. Please let me know how I'm coming across as well, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Patreon. My internet should be stable. I might have a little check myself if that's okay. And then we will get on with what we believe to be, a lot of the time rumors come out between 8 and 9 o'clock. I have no intel myself, because I work for a. Oh, my friend's just texted me saying that the connection's good. That's fantastic news. Thank you, Jack. Because I don't work for a media company, I work for myself. I don't get this sort of information. So it's just a surprise to me as it is to everyone else when we hit 9 o'clock in the morning. And we're about 14 minutes away. There is a rumor, like there was last year with what we got with Man United away, that we're going to be starting the season away at Brighton. It's not been confirmed, of course. We'll find out at 9 a.m. And what I'm going to do is react and talk about the fixtures. If you'll excuse me, I need to go and take a hay fever tablet because my hay fever is really bad right now. So please give me 2 minutes. Oh, apologies. Apologies for that. Welcome back. Let's have a look at the time. Mr. Wolf, we're 10 minutes away from 9 o'clock. I'm going to be going to about 10 o'clock. I sort of referenced my last stream a couple of days ago just to sort of see what the sort of structure is going to be. At that time, there was not much to talk about in terms of transfers. I think at that moment we were talking about Japolinia going to Bayern Munich. But in terms of this stream, we're going to look through the fixtures month by month, analyze it, and look, it's going to be good fun. Hopefully, everyone. Obviously, it's very very early in the morning. I understand and I appreciate people are on their way to work or at work. So of course they might stream into this a little bit later. So I'm currently live on YouTube, X or Twitter, just call it Twitter, and Patreon as well. I think the YouTube channel is almost hitting 700 subscribers. I think I've mentioned this before. I completely alienated the the YouTube channel last season. And essentially what happened was I just focused all on Patreon, and now I have a bit more flexibility, so I can do I'll do both for the upcoming season. Very much looking forward to it. I will tell you one thing, that this summer so far, I know the Club World Cup's going on right now, but when we had the Euros going on this time last year, it was very much a case of something to distract ourselves from the fact the Premier League was over. We at least had an international tournament. The Club World Cup is not moving me whatsoever. I've watched barely bits of it. I saw a bit of Fulham versus Dortmund yesterday in the pub. I watched the first 5 minutes of, for my sins, Chelsea versus, I can't remember who they played, LAFC, and I just couldn't stand it. So yeah, Football Fix won't come in until about, pre-season. And for anyone who hasn't seen, Fulham are playing Frankfurt in pre-season at the Craven Cottage on the 9th, ahead of what we believe to be the first game of the season, which is Brighton away, which is we'll get into it when the fixtures come out, how tough a start we could have, how tough a running we could have. I'm not even sure. And then, of course, there are... So basically, the club are, just to clarify, the club are going to the Algarve from the 25th to the 2nd of August. And I was told yesterday not to rule out the possibility that a game could be played on the 2nd. So I was like talking to a load of people about, when you're going out. And they were like, oh yeah, going out on this date, but then flying back on the 2nd. Or no one's like, or they were planning on doing that. What the club told me was like, we actually could be playing a game in the evening. It's not confirmed. Like, no way is it confirmed. But in terms of, so fans don't miss a game by flying home too early, flying out, the squad could be playing on the 2nd of August. And then, have we got... Am I bugging here? Oh, comments. Oh, we just haven't got any comments yet. That's all. Then they could be flying back on the 2nd after the game. So therefore, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly back on the 3rd of August, and then obviously we have a week in England, or 6 days in England before we go to Frankfurt. But we host Frankfurt at the Cottage, and then it it looks like it's Brighton. It looks like it's Brighton away to start, which is okay. So I try and what happens between 8 and 9 is that people release the fixtures, and which actually is quite a crazy thing, because when it's under embargo, to leak it, but this happens every year. I get very sort of confused by the whole thing. Like, the Premier League trusts media companies, and when I say media companies, I don't mean like Sky and TNT and stuff like that, but like big outlets for big clubs, i.e. Anfield Sector has basically posted almost the whole fixture list. A few others as well. Definitely, it's always Liverpool. And if the Premier League see that they do that, then why would they give them the information again next year? Because they're just going to leak it. I mean, it is under embargo, and what that means is that no one can really release it. Obviously, people put it out there as it, but someone tweeted that I saw from someone who goes to Fulham press conferences quite a lot, from Ryan Taylor. Breaking the Premier League fixture embargo to claim an exclusive is genuinely insane. I think it's because it's risking. I'm quite strict with embargoes because of Fulham and stuff, and when it comes to press conferences, I don't like to. You wouldn't want to break an embargo, would you? You get in trouble with the club. To them, let's just say I found out, or a Fulham fan found out that what we had first, or what we had last, or whatever, and just started posting on Twitter between 8 and 9. If the Premier League was the thing is, if it was just a general fan doing it, they couldn't really do anything about it. But because I'm a journalist, or like Anfield Sector has media access, they would just cut the access, wouldn't they? Anyway, I don't know, but we are literally 5 minutes away. I think what's easy to say is that there's no easy game in the Premier League whatsoever. These games are insanely tough. And I think that what happened last year when the fixture list came out is I looked through the list on stream with everyone when it came out at 9 and just thought this is actually a really manageable fixture list. And I was having a debate with some friends earlier about someone said, if any, the fixture list doesn't matter, everyone plays each other twice, blah, blah, blah. But it does matter, because if you get a good start, if you get a generous amount of fixtures to start, not amount, a generous fixtures to start the season, then it helps you in terms of your momentum. Absolutely. Sam James just took the word right out of my mouth. Hopefully everyone's enjoying. I know it's not the most convenient time to be streaming. I'd rather be doing this, at 7 o'clock when everyone's sort of finished work and whatever. But I do appreciate. I know that these aren't current watchers, but we have had 386 people dip in the stream at least. So good morning to everyone, even if you're watching this at work or sort of listening in while you're walking to work or whatever. Today's gonna be a very busy day because it's fixture release day, reacting to the news, and then loads of reaction will go on Patreon. This stream will be able to watch on YouTube. So please do subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're watching via YouTube, or if you're not, you can go on if you're watching via Twitter, which I imagine most people are, because that's where I've got the sort of biggest following. If you go onto my profile and then click the YouTube link, I'll plug Patreon later because the fixture's about to come out and that's just long. In terms of YouTube, it costs nothing to subscribe to YouTube, and I think, like I said, I'm almost at 700 subscribers. Would like to get up to like 1,000 before the season starts, so I'm going to really ramp it up with the live streams. And looking forward to it. I'm trying to usually when I stream, not that it's going to make any bloody difference, bloody hell. Usually when I stream, I have like the brightness up quite high and then the battery goes quite low, but I'm already on 82%. So what I might do is if the battery runs out because I can't charge my laptop, because my laptop's basically half broken, I can't charge it while I've got the microphone in. So if it runs out of battery and it feels like we haven't touched upon all the fixtures at the right time, I'll go straight onto Twitter and just stream on Twitter because it's just easy off my phone. I'd imagine by the time we get down to the 15% and the 14%, I think we'd probably have a pretty good understanding of what the fixtures are. It's almost 9 o'clock. I used to get really giddy about the fixture release. I remember once it was a season we'd been relegated to the Championship for the first time. So we're going to the 14-15 season. And I think I was sitting in an exam. I was sort of about to go in. And for some reason, I had my phone on me. I think we were just allowed. The school I was at was very lenient on phones. And it must have been literally the time it was now, like 3 minutes to 9. And I was sort of like refreshing the old Fulham app, which was actually really, really good because you could go through really, really old fixtures and sort of look at the old fixtures and the old results and whatever. But I remember getting the fixture list through. Literally refreshed it at 9 o'clock and they were all there. I remember we had Ipswich first. It was like Millwall at home. And I was like, bloody hell, this is the Championship. And obviously, look, we're going into a fourth season of the Premier League. I feel like my energy's not quite there this morning. It's obviously quite early. And I'm looking forward to seeing who we get when we get them. There's so many teams that are going to be intriguing to play next season. Sunderland, Burnley, Leeds all coming up from the Championship. We've got now a Thomas Frankless Brentford. United and Spurs will have to improve. Obviously, Thomas Frank's gone to Spurs. United have to improve. We're just a couple of minutes away. So I'm going to keep an eager eye on Twitter. That's where we'll sort of get the information from the club. And looking forward to seeing who we get. A few comments. Apparently we've got Brighton away. So if anyone hasn't seen, it is Brighton away first, apparently, according to leaks. And this time last year, when people were saying Man United away, that happened to be the case. What we don't know yet is the TV picks. So the TV picks will come out for the opening game only, and then in like a month, they'll probably put out, or maybe less than that, they'll put out the other picks for August. Given it's Brighton away, and I've seen the other opening day fixtures as well. I mean, Arsenal are playing Man United, I believe, which is probably the 4:30. I think the Friday night is Liverpool-Bournemouth, from what I've seen. I guess we'll find out in literally a minute's time now. Okay, so let's get ready for this. Everyone joining the stream for the big 9 o'clock reveal. I really I think we might have a tough start. I'm not sure. From what I've seen, there we go. We have them. Right, let's retweet this. Yeah, tough start. Oh my God, that's a really tough start. Okay, so we start at Brighton away, as we thought. Home to Man United, away to Chelsea early on this season, as opposed to Boxing Day. Who do we have last day? Oh my God, so tough. Leeds at home, then Brentford at home. So 2 home games in a row in September. So after the international break, Leeds at home, then Brentford at home. Villa away. That was good because I missed that last season. Bournemouth away. Arsenal at home. Bloody hell. Newcastle away. This is tough. Newcastle. Let me start again. Let me go from September. So after Chelsea away, Leeds at home, Brentford at home, Villa away. October, Bournemouth away, Arsenal at home, Newcastle away. Bloody hell, Newcastle away in October. Okay. Okay, Wolves at home in November, followed by Everton away. So the first time we go to the new new Everton Stadium is in November on the 8th, obviously subject to change. Sunderland at home before we have Tottenham away in late November. It seems similar to when we had them last season. City at home. Oh my gosh. Okay, right. So obviously December's the one with the most fixtures. City at home, Palace at home, Burnley away, Forest at home. You know what? That's a nice way to end the year. West Ham away, 27th, not Boxing Day. Interesting. I don't even know if that's a thing. And then Palace away. So we end the year with West Ham away and Palace away. We start the year with Liverpool at home and then Chelsea at home. Believe it's AFCON. Leeds away in January, Brighton at home, then Man United away 31st of Jan. Everton at home, Man City away in February, Sunderland away in February, and then Tottenham at home. March, West Ham at home, Forest away, Burnley at home. When have we got Burnley away? Oh, December. God, that's going to be so... Someone's just said Man City away midweek. Have we got Man City away midweek? That's so long. Man United... Sorry, I've completely lost myself again. Let's go from March. West Ham at home, Nottingham Forest away, Burnley at home, and then the run-in. Actually, the run-in's not as bad as it was last season. Liverpool away, Brentford away. Again, Brentford away very late on in the season, but that time in April. Okay, Aston Villa at home. Arsenal away again late on in the season. Our final away game is Wolves. Our final home game... Oh, sorry, I've just missed out Bournemouth at home. Sorry. Arsenal at home. Arsenal... I'm cocking this up today. Arsenal away in May the 2nd. A week later, Bournemouth at home. Wolves away to end our away days. And then Newcastle at home, who we played on the last day when we got relegated, lost 4-0, thanks to some goals from John Joe Shelby and Solomon Rondon and whatever. What do I think? That is brutal start. I mean, that is a really, really tough start. Yeah. Let's have a look what everyone's thinking. So actually, we need to work out when we're playing midweek. I think there's 5 midweek fixtures. I was much better at doing this last year. I feel like I've completely lost my marbles here. Right, let's go through this again. What does everyone think? If my internet's dropping, I apologize. I'm the only one in the house right now using Wi-Fi, so I don't know what's going on. Right. I just think that's an insanely tough start. I mean, Brighton away, obviously, you compare it to last season, we lost in the last minute. That was tough. Obviously, it's a winnable fixture, Brighton away. And obviously, they might be losing João Pedro. Hertzler's going to be still in the job. They'll obviously be recruiting. They've signed that guy from Olympiacos for about £40 million. Starting at, Man United at home has been a fixture that has been a complete curse on Fulham. Last season we lost 1-0. Season before we lost 1-0. Season before that we... Oh, God, I can't remember. Lost 2-1. So a lot of late goals from Manchester United in the last 3 games. I like the fact we got Chelsea away in August. I think that's quite cool. Hopefully people are back from their holidays. Hopefully the sun is shining. Leeds at home, obviously newly promoted. It does feel like Leeds at home is like a must win. I remember when we had Luton after like 4 games and we'd not got off to the best start, and we beat Everton, lost to Brentford, and then I can't remember, but we had to beat Luton and we did. Nice to see we got Leeds and Brentford back to back home games, very sort of winnable. I'm going to be caveating with winnable. Like you could beat anyone, you can lose to anyone. Aston Villa away, again tough. They're not in Champions League, are they? They're in Europa League. Okay, so that might get moved to a Sunday. Bournemouth away. That's nice. We got Bournemouth. I mean, October's not the most amazing time to have them, but Bournemouth away, Arsenal at home. It does feel a bit relentless. I'm trying to think of a run of fixtures where we don't have to play anyone, either a traditional top 6 or. So we're playing Palace twice in December. We got them at home. Is that right? We've got them at home on the 6th of December, and then we got them away on the 30th. Interesting. So a run of fixtures there. Palace at home, Burnley away, Forest at home, West Ham away, Crystal Palace away. That's like the most generous run of fixtures we've got. What's everyone thinking? Luke's had a little chime in. We only pick up points against big teams, so it's better to start than having Sunderland, Burnley, Leeds early. Pretty much, yeah. Look, season upon season, we've got better at beating the big teams. Again, we shouldn't really be fearing games. I think the fear you get from my point of view is starting the season terribly, and then and we've actually done all right in terms of like the last few when we've been up in the Premier League. We usually have started fairly well. Obviously, we lost the opening game last season against United. Then we responded in turn by beating Leicester and drawing to Ipswich. We had 4 points from 3. And then we've gone, I can't even remember now, 4th game of the season last season. We had, I can't remember. All the fixtures are scrambling in my head. But this is a cool start. In terms of away day, let's do the away day planning and how much people are going to have to spend on away days. So, Brighton, what day is it? 18th of June. I mean, you could book Brighton in the next few weeks and get there for like 15 quid return. Brighton away is quite a nice way to start the season, I suppose, in terms of accessibility. Chelsea away, the second away is I'm glad that the away day on Boxing Day is in London. I mean, we'll get to West Ham. Let me just go through the away days. Chelsea away, literally a 3-mile walk down the road. Villa away, there's an extra away day, so you can get there if you're quick. You can get there for like a 15 quid, a tenner if you're on it in terms of Birmingham. Bournemouth away is it's like 30 quid. But if you could get it for like 20 with a rail card. This is all with a rail card, by the way, if you're quick. So Bournemouth away. Then you got Newcastle. That's the big one. That's going to cost you a lot. So that's on the 25th of October. And then the week after we host Wolves. Then we go to Everton. So back-to-back away days at Newcastle and Everton. Obviously, it's going to be exciting to go to the new stadium. Horrible start to the season. Sneds, it's not good. It's not a great start, is it? And then Tottenham away, so London away. These are all away days, by the way. Burnley away, you go to Burnley Manchester Road. We go via Manchester Piccadilly. So that's going to be that's a tough one. I always find this, I say it every year. London to Manchester is genuinely the worst value journey of the season and also the worst train. I just hate getting the London to Manchester. I just hate that train. It's heinous. Anyway, and then around Christmas, I think the Premier League do this on purpose. We've said this now for the last few years, that they really try and be fan conscious around the holidays and not have fans go too far. What we should actually do is look at the whole Premier League fixture list in terms of the opening day for everyone and the first couple of days. We'll do that in a second. So yeah, West Ham and Palace, and then a couple of home games. Then Leeds away. Leeds is like, 30, 40 quid maybe if you got it quick. Train prices in this country is just a mess. Leeds and Man United back-to-back away days is pretty not nice. Man United on January, like I say, another Manchester train, heinous. We've actually got Leeds, Manchester United, Manchester City, Sunderland, back-to-back aways. For God's sake. No points till November. Mate. Okay, based on last season's results. Sorry, I shouldn't get distracted. Let's just carry on the away days. So we've got Leeds away. These are all away days in a row. Leeds away, United away, City away, which I believe is midweek. Sunderland away. Bloody hell, that's going to be expensive. Forest away is like Nottingham. Oh, I drove there last time. I went out with a friend in the car. But Nottingham's like 25 to 30. It's like sort of Leicester sort of prices. Liverpool away, bloody hell. I remember last season it being so cost effective. All the expensive aways are in the first half of the season, and then like all the cheap ones are in the second half, apart from Newcastle. It was a really good one. This is not a nice fixture list. Liverpool away, Brentford away is Oyster Card, that's fine. Arsenal away, and then Wolves away to finish, which is fairly cheap. What are we going to be doing? No points till November. Okay, so let's take that point from Sneds, and then let's compare it. So Brighton away last season we lost. United at home we lost. Fair enough. Chelsea away we won. That's 3 points. Leeds at home is irrelevant. Could we swap it out for someone like a Leicester at home? No, it's a different team. Brentford at home we won. So that's 3. That's 2 wins from 4. Villa away we lost. Bournemouth away we lost. I see your point. Arsenal at home we drew. Newcastle away we won. So that's like what? 3, 4, 7, 10 points. 10 points up until November. It's going to be a tough season. It's going to be a tough season for everyone. Let's look at the actual Premier League fixtures. Let's see where everyone's starting. I feel like that's what I did last year. I've just gone straight into the Fulham. I can't even find the Premier League app now. Bloody hell. Let's have a look. Right. So, yeah. Oh, they've actually done the TV picks as well. So we are Saturday, 3 o'clock. Probably should have checked that first. Okay. Liverpool at home to Bournemouth Friday night. That is, as Friday night fixtures go, that is so boring. Aston Villa, Newcastle, 12:30. Already shafting Newcastle fans, being like, yeah, go down to Villa for 12:30. Brighton versus Fulham, 3 o'clock. Forest versus Brentford. Sunderland versus West Ham. Great start for Sunderland. Spurs, Burnley. Tough for Burnley, but could not be tough for Burnley. Thomas Frank at the wheel. And then late fixture, Wolves versus Man City. Super Sunday. Oh, my God. Super Sunday, Chelsea Palace. That's not a good fixture. I just don't want to watch that. I just don't want to watch Chelsea. Chelsea v Palace. And then, I wasn't surprised to see this. Man United versus Arsenal was the 4:30. And then Leeds versus Everton on the Monday Night Football. That's a fairly cool start. Second round of fixtures, Arsenal Leeds, Bournemouth Wolves, Brentford Villa, Burnley v Sunderland, 2 newly promoted teams. Palace start at home against Forest. Everton's first home game is against Brighton. We're at home to United. I'd imagine they've been moved for TV. Man City, Spurs, and Newcastle, Liverpool, and then West Ham, Chelsea. That is some really good fixtures. There are more. I've been noticing there's more and more like very watchable fixtures. Not saying that they used to not be watchable, but some very good fixtures every week because everyone's sort of getting better. Everyone's getting more competitive. Everyone's got better teams, better squads. So shall I scroll all the way down to the last day? Let's go Boxing Day first, and then we'll go last day. God, so many fixtures. City at home midweek and Liverpool and City away midweek. Fucking hell. Okay. Yeah, for some reason, there's no games on Boxing Day. I don't know why that is. It's the Saturday the 27th. I don't know. There's something to move. So let's see. I think they have been fairly kind with... They've been fairly kind with in terms of travel. I'll read some comments in a second. Arsenal Brighton, that's very nice for Brighton, pretty easy. Brentford Bournemouth, not too bad for Bournemouth. Burnley Everton, again Everton not too bad. Chelsea Villa, a couple of hours away, but fine for Villa. Palace Spurs, London Derby, Liverpool Wolves. It's not bad for Wolves, I suppose. Man United, Newcastle. That seems to be on Boxing Day every year. It doesn't really, but Nottingham Forest versus Man City, Sunderland, Leeds, and West Ham, Fulham. Pretty happy with West Ham away on the 27th. That's a nice sort of... Right, let's go to the last game. It's always very, overwhelming when all these fixtures come out. Oh, actually, you know what? That would be a better idea. Let's just go through the midweek fixtures first, because we have an idea of when the midweek fixtures are because of the time slots that they've been given. So when I see the first midweek round of fixtures, I'll just name the Fulham ones. I can't bother to go through all of them. So the first midweek round should be... Okay, it's Wednesday the 3rd of December. So City at home midweek, as was said on my group chat just now. Midweek. Tuesday 30th of December. It's not really midweek because it's sort of in that Christmas period, isn't it? Palace away. Although it does say 8 o'clock kickoff for Palace away. So I suppose it is midweek. I mean, that's not the worst thing in the world. Palace away at 8 o'clock. 7th of Jan, Chelsea at home apparently is midweek. That's pretty cool. Last time we played them midweek, we beat them 2-1, which was fun. Midweek, City away, 11th of February. Bloody hell. That's going to be a tough one. That is going to be a tough one. Okay, 4th of March, West Ham at home. Okay, nice. So a home game. And then, is that it for midweeks? That might be it, actually. Yeah, we're into May now. That's probably that. Okay, so on the last day of the season, this is the fixtures. Brighton v Man United. So they played each other on the last day at that very stadium 2 seasons ago. I don't know how my brain knows that. Burnley v Wolves. Palace v Arsenal. Fulham v Newcastle. That's a fairly tough fixture, but who knows where we'll be by then. Liverpool, Brentford. City, Villa, like the same as a couple of years ago when City won the league and we were winning 3-2. Forest, Bournemouth, which was the opening fixture for last season. Spurs versus Everton. Sunderland v Chelsea and West Ham v Leeds. Pretty much standard. There's nothing really here that's that groundbreaking. It's just 380 fixtures all compiled into one sort of list. So let's go through some comments. Chelsea away in the sun is a nice change. It could be some scalps against Liverpool and Chelsea in Jan due to congested schedule and AFCON. Obviously we're going to lose Bassi and Iwobi, but if we're playing Liverpool in January, they won't have Mo Salah, which is pretty nice. That's always a good bonus. Arsenal haven't been given a great start themselves, so that's an excuse for the season sorted early. Brilliant. I have seen Arsenal's first 5 actually when it was leaked, and it's not good viewing for them. That's a tough fixture list, but you could say the same for anything. We could have it in a completely different order, and people would still say it's tough. You're going to have the Premier League is just more competitive every season. Every team is a more daunting task because they are just better. They're just better teams, not better teams than us, but they're just better in terms of their, in terms of what they have, the facilities, the money they can spend. Brighton away, United at home, Chelsea away, Leeds at home, Brentford at home, Villa away. How many points do you think we're getting from those opening 6? As of now, we have made no signings. We closed any transfers. Not that I'm aware of. At the end of the day, we've got to play everyone. Doesn't matter when they come. I agree with that, but I also agree that it's important to get off to a good start. And what will make people nervous is if we're sort of coming off the back of that Villa game, having won, let's say, 1 game from those 6. Going into Bournemouth away, it's so pointless to sit here and start predicting results because you don't even know what the squad's going to look like, don't even know what the team's going to look like, don't even know what the other team's going to look like. We could win the Premier League, but we could also finish bottom on 10 points. The momentum is very important. I mean, you look at Man United at home, and I'm sort of licking my lips. And I know people are like, well, we've lost in the last minute every time we played them for the last 3 years. Absolutely. But playing United early, I know obviously we lost last season. When United went into their first away game last season against Brighton, off the back of beating Fulham, they lost 2-1. And I would say we are on par with Brighton in terms of, I think we're as good as Brighton, I think. Or last season we were. I know they finished obviously above us and whatever, but we were a decent team. We probably should have finished in the top 10 for sure. I think Brighton finished 8th, and there was only a few points between us anyway. Let me just look at this Christmas fixtures. December is obviously a very, very busy month. Back-to-back home games: Manchester City and Crystal Palace. Burnley away, newly promoted. Forest, the game before Christmas at home. We were so good against Forest last season. We should have absolutely battered them. We only won 2-1. West Ham away, Palace away. I can see a lot of points being picked up there. We're due a win against Man City at home. I know, obviously, it's a very difficult fixture. I remember saying we were due a win against Liverpool at home in the last time I did the stream, and we beat them. So you never know. You never know. Interesting, obviously, the January transfer window is going to be open during... My friend's just texted me saying, I know this sounds really, 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 really negative, and he hasn't backed up his message yet. But there's a chance that Marco is sacked by November. I love overreaction from fans. It's fantastic. That's fantastic. Let's talk about the context of Marco Silva in just a second. I just want to go over January and then the run-in. God, I know there's not 903 people watching right now, but there has been 903 people watching throughout the stream. What percentage of battery are we on? 48. Actually, that's fairly okay. I have to take a sip of water. Hold on. So during the month of January, where we have the window open, obviously the window's open now. Liverpool at home, Chelsea at home, Leeds away, Brighton at home, Man United away. Wait, Man United away is on the 31st. That's not going to be deadline day because they've extended the window by a couple of days now for the last few seasons. So it's going to end like February the 2nd or something like that. Anyway, let's have a look at the run-in. What do I count as the run-in? The last 10 fixtures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, the run-in starts from March the 4th. West Ham at home midweek. I believe that's midweek. Then it must be FA Cup weekend because there's a gap between those. Okay, so the run-in is West Ham at home, Forest away, Burnley at home. Decent fixtures. Liverpool away, Brentford away, Villa at home. Okay, tough, but okay. Last 4, Arsenal away. Well, they'll be finishing second again, and the title will be over. So that's going to be a winnable fixture for Fulham. Bournemouth at home, Wolves away, Newcastle at home. Not the worst. Newcastle could be challenging for Champions League. I just don't know. I just don't know where. It's so hard because, when you look at the fixture list, I come in with a very sort of negative mindset of going, oh God, okay, imagine if we get off to a bad start. But imagine if we get off to a good start. Imagine if we, Forest came into last season just beating relegation. I think they finished 17th of the season before. And they were like, God, bloody hell, we're going for another relegation battle. And then they just were in the top 4 the whole season. And it all comes back to, because we're starting to doubt, and because we're starting to go worry and doubt about, I'm not making sense. Because we're starting to worry about certain games and certain runs of fixtures, it's because of, obviously, the state of the squad. It all comes back to the state of the squad. It all comes back to how good we think we're going to be able to compete. And it all comes back to, we've got to spend in the market. We cannot stand still. And so far, this window, which is now reopened, Fulham haven't done much. And that's obviously, it's a cause for concern. But I remember at this stage last year, we hadn't done anything either. At this stage last season, we were very much looking like we were about to lose Paulinho. It was in the middle of the Euros, and we were a bit like, And obviously, it's actually difficult. I would find it very, very difficult to navigate the transfer window during the Euros because so much is going on. But right now, nothing's really going on. The Club World Cup is a nonsense, like a complete nonsense. So I'm surprised we don't have Tete news. I'm surprised we don't have TC news by now. We didn't have preseason news by this time last year. This time last year, we only knew about the Hoffenheim friendly. So I'm not panicking. But once you look at the fixtures, once you know where you're going to be going and when you're going to be playing certain teams, you then start to think, what's the squad going to look like? My friend texts me saying Marco could be set by November. I get it in terms of like it's a very difficult start to the season. Marco's obviously got one more year on his contract. I'd imagine we're going to try and time down to a new contract during this next season. Can we compete for Europe? 100%. I was so moved by Smith Rowe yesterday. That picture of him doing his workout is obviously getting his fitness up before preseason. Because let's talk about Smith Rowe and his situation. He wasn't unfit for the whole of last season, but he wasn't fit enough because I don't think he completed 90 minutes. And obviously, you spend all that money on a player in Smith Rowe. For him, I can, maybe other people can't. I can see past it and go, okay, one season, didn't play enough football the season before. I get it. Marco managing his minutes makes sense. We've also got Andres Pereira. Makes sense, yeah. Let's just say we lose Pereira. Suddenly the onus is on Smith Rowe to not only play 90 minutes, basically week in, week out. Obviously, Marco likes to make changes. It's not going to be 90 minutes every single week. But the responsibility is going to be much more responsibility on his shoulders to play those 90 minutes. And he's obviously been told by Marco, you need to be, even before preseason, 100% fitter. He looks leaner. He looks more in shape. It's obviously going off a snapshot. It's going off a picture. But it's encouraging because I thought Swifto did okay last season. There was just times where I thought he was a bit lightweight. And the injury in December didn't help his momentum. That was a tough one to take. And yeah, obviously, Fulham need to get on with some business. I haven't really looked at Twitter. Let me have a look at Twitter, see what everyone else is saying. Can't be waiting until September to make our signings. Need targets in early. Absolutely. Yeah, people are saying tough start. It is a tough start. It is a very, very tough start. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? 1:30. Probably run for a few more minutes. Dan Powell, always respect his opinion. Cracking first game, 3 London fixtures over Christmas, but nothing on Boxing Day, which is a shame. Yeah, I don't know why that is. December's a bit brutal. December's a bit brutal. I think December's not bad. Obviously, December's brutal in terms of how many fixtures we have. But in terms of the fact we're playing one of the top 6, Palace twice, Burnley, West Ham, Forest at home, I think December's pretty kind. But obviously, it's a game of opinions. I respect everyone's opinion. Usually everyone's opinion. Cracking first game, 3 London fixtures over Christmas. Nothing on Boxing Day, was a shame. And don't play City until December or Liverpool until January. Could be worse. Great way to look at it. Great way to look at it. I mean, if you think about who are going to be the 3, who on paper are going to be the 3 most dangerous teams next season? Arsenal, Liverpool, City, I believe. Chelsea are going to be in the Europa League. No, Champions League. They're going to be in the Champions League. So they've got that to contend with. United are United. Would actually be pretty annoyed if we didn't beat United on that second game. Villa's going to be tough. Probably move to the Sunday. If they play Thursday and we don't have to play Thursday, go to Sunday, and you feel as if you've got a little bit more time and energy in the tank. Yeah, we don't play City till December and Liverpool till January. That's a really good point. In fact, Liverpool is the 19th fixture before we play Chelsea, who will be the first time we play a team for a second time that season. I mean, you can analyze it all the way you can. It's not going to change, apart from obviously TV picks. It's not going to change. We could genuinely be in the bottom 3 going into November. Fair enough. we could. Let's see what else everyone else is saying. Not many. My timeline is so crap. That's all they're showing me. I got through about 10 tweets and that's it for my timeline. And I can't even refresh it. This app is absolutely on the floor. Tricky running, says Ranjan. I don't think it's as tricky as last season. Both Liverpool and Arsenal away. Oh my God, Fulham tweeted shout the Amex, and for a second I just thought, what on earth are they talking about there? It's interesting they didn't post the Jimenez goal. That was the last time he scored at the Amex. Running is tough, is it? I suppose if we go from March, which technically is the run-in, West Ham, Forest, Burnley, Liverpool, Brentford, Villa. Villa's tough. Arsenal, Bournemouth at home, Wolves away. I think that's it. That's an interesting point because I looked at the fixture list last season and the way it was constructed, I looked at it and went, not only is that a great fixture list, I don't see us being, there's enough points to pick up early on for us to be away from danger. What this fixture list is, there are a lot of games that we could get 0 points from and therefore would be in trouble. But then again, if we can recruit well and we're well set up, we can beat anyone on our day. We can beat anyone on their day. Look, it's not gonna please everyone. The fixture list, it obviously splits opinion like the new kit does. Richard Cooley, who is a very good journalist, that start to the Premier League season for Fulham. ... Can we put it back through the fixture computer again? Julian Hare, it's horrid. The running isn't much better either. Lots of positivity then. Loads of positivity. Yeah, it's a tough one. Let's not beat around the bush. It's a tough fixture list. The fixtures were not kind. Maybe the Premier League thought, we've had Fulham now for 3 years. I think maybe it's time to change things. Now, traditionally, in the last 2 seasons, every promoted team has got relegated again. So I'm being interested to see what Leeds' fixtures are saying. Let's have a look at Leeds' fixtures. They start Everton, Arsenal, Newcastle, Fulham, Wolves, Bournemouth. Okay, the Premier League just obviously want Leeds to stay in the Premier League then. Their run-in is Sunderland, Palace, Brentford, United, Wolves, Bournemouth, Burnley, Tottenham, Brighton, West Ham. I mean, where's their tough run of fixtures? Where is their tough run of fixtures? It's just not there. They just don't have it. That's really wound me up. Okay, November, Brighton, Forest, Villa, City, Chelsea, Liverpool. That's like their toughest run. Well, all right, let's have a look at Burnley. See what they're saying. Obviously, you look at the odds for the season. You look at the bookies. They have obviously the 3 that went up as favourites to go down, and then 4th favourite is, I believe it's Wolves. Then it's Brentford. Then it's Fulham, and Brentford's price only dropped because of Frank leaving. Okay, Burnley start. They've done it. It's just a horrible way to do the fixtures. I can't read it. Spurs, Sunderland, Man United, Liverpool, Forest, City. That is a brutal start. Then Villa, then Leeds. That's a tough fixture list for them. They're running Everton, Bournemouth, Fulham, Brighton, Forest, City, Leeds, Villa, Arsenal, Wolves. That's a tough start for Burnley. Who's the manager? Oh, yeah, Parker. Bloody hell. Almost 1,000 people who have at least tuned in. What's everyone on YouTube saying? I know we're probably not getting loads of viewers on YouTube because it's not really a channel I sort of put across. I've gained like 3 subscribers since we started. 18 people watching on YouTube. Fair enough. Thank you very much for watching. We've reached 1,000 viewers. That's cool. If 7 more people want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, that will take us to 700. And there will be more content coming on the YouTube channel across the summer and across the season. God, there's so many games I'm just not looking forward to. Needs signings early this window. This is what stops us from kicking on like others. Yeah, we can't stand still. I am seeing that. I'm sure Marco Silva's seeing that fixture list, and he's getting on the phone to Ali Mack right now, and he's saying we better get a move on. And Matt, this is the thing, yeah. So when we went into the start of last season, Who were the players we didn't have? Anderson and Berger, I believe. Is that right? Can someone who's watching correct me if I'm wrong? Bank holiday August against Chelsea, so no need for loyalty points again. We'll see what they do. We'll see what they do. Yeah, so we went into that start of the season just a couple of signings off what we needed. Reece Nelson as well. We didn't have Reece Nelson. It is vitally important, and I don't think it's possible because it's almost impossible to have 80% of your business done by match day 1. I'd even argue by Frankfurt at home, so that we have time to integrate them, because that is a really quick start. Look, the last time we started away from home, we went to Everton, we won 1-0. Fantastic. We then lost to Brentford 3-0. It was a disaster. However, we could go to Brighton and win. We could. It's a tough fixture. We all know what's going to happen. João Pedro will just, if he doesn't go to Newcastle, João Pedro will just score a penalty in the last minute, because he seems to score penalties every single time Brighton play a game of football. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Brighton away to start. You know, you'd probably take a point, wouldn't you? Probably take a point going into Man United. I mean, you take a point and then you go to Man United at home. United, who knows what kind of state they're going to be in. Obviously, Cunha comes in. They might be getting a Buemo, which is obviously insanely hilarious. But let's have a look at Brentford's fixtures. I think that's important because actually they are a team who have lost their manager, could lose a couple of key players. I know Bournemouth obviously lost a few key players. They brought in Truffet to play at left back. Let's have a look. Brentford start. Forest away, Villa at home, Sunderland away, Chelsea at home, Fulham away, United at home. Interesting. Then have City at home. Then West Ham away, then Liverpool at home. That's actually tough. Their run-in is, let's say, run-in starts in March. Last season, we started away from home. We did. I apologise. I'd said last time we started away from home, we won. We did not. Bournemouth away. This is Brentford's run-in. Bournemouth away, Wolves at home, Leeds away, Everton at home, Fulham at home, United away, West Ham at home, City away, Palace at home, Liverpool away. I mean, again, I'm contradicting myself. You know, I said at the start of the stream we can't make any judgment based on the fixtures, and here I am making judgments based on the fixtures. The Premier League, as we know, is an insanely unpredictable league. We saw that last season with two of the traditional top 6 finishing in the bottom half. One of them, 22 defeats, which any other season would get you relegated from the Premier League. And then we saw teams like Forest get into not the top 4 as such, but they were challenging for Europe. Brighton challenging for Europe. I don't think that's necessarily a surprise. Palace winning the FA Cup. There's so many unpredictable things that can happen in football. I think hopefully that fixture list is a bit of a kick up the backside for those who are in charge at Fulham and in terms of transfers, and they go, right, we better make sure our business is done before opening day or nearly done, because that's a tough start. It's a very, very tough start. And is there anything more to say? Probably not. And I think that might be a good way to end things. I thought I was going to go to 10 o'clock, but sometimes you just feel like you're running out of things to say. There's only so much you can say about a fixture list. What I will say is that I think that United will probably be on TV at home. Chelsea away. That's difficult. Will Chelsea away be on TV? Maybe. I'd like to think so. If we analyse the fixtures on that day, on that weekend, Villa versus Palace, probably not televised. Brighton City, it just will be, won't it? 5:30. Chelsea Fulham should be televised. 12:30, I think we'll take it. Leeds Newcastle, that sounds pretty televisable. Is that even a word? Liverpool Arsenal will definitely be on TV. United Burnley, they'll probably put that on TV for some unknown reason. I'm sort of losing my head here. Forest, West Ham, Spurs, Bournemouth, Sunderland, Brentford, and Wolves, Everton. We'll see. Leeds at home. probably not on TV. I think last time we played them, that was on telly, wasn't it? 12:30 start. We beat them 2-0. Brentford. See, this is the funny thing. Like, would Brentford at home be on TV? I mean, it was last season. Our away games against them, apart from the one we played on the Monday Night Football when we lost 3-2, they've just been standard 3:00 kickoffs. Yeah, I think I probably ran this a little bit dry. There's obviously more content I need to make across the day for Patreon. Actually, that will probably be where I finish. I need to plug Patreon. I think you could probably even predict what I'm about to say. £5 per month. Daily, no, it's not daily film content anymore. That used to be my line. Actually, I'm almost there. I think I launched Patreon about a year ago. Got a very nice message from a very nice Fulham account yesterday, with some very nice sort of words, and it meant a lot. Fabrizio Romano has tweeted something. What's he been up to in the last few hours? Bernardo Silva, the new City captain. Couldn't care less. Could not care less. United will try and sell Sancho. Okay. Again, couldn't care less. Patreon. Really want some more people through the door. Obviously been going for a year and really enjoying it. And it's a really good place to see player interviews, press conferences, stuff you just wouldn't see in the normal Fulham space in terms of from a journalist. I mean, obviously the club put out their own stuff, which is fantastic. And then next season's the plan. This season coming up is to sort of get some more fan insights. I know I've done a few interviews with American supporter-based support groups based in US, which has been fantastic. I want to do more of that next season. But I think I want to hear from more ex-Fulham players, current Fulham, obviously current Fulham players, people like Gentleman Jim, Jamie Reid, Barry Hales, Tony Gale. I mean, I'm listing names off my head. Obviously, I've got a plan in place that I know how I'm going to sort of try and execute it. But I think people are missing out. I have to say, I think people are missing out, and I think it's a really good place to be. The Patreon community is fantastic. You don't get bombarded with things either. The community chat is very sporadic. People only sort of chat on it on match days and maybe when there's been a big transfer or talking point. So you won't get bombarded. You can, I think one of the things is you can turn off email notifications, so you just get notifications on your app. For people based in America or people based outside the UK, it's like $6 a month. For people inside UK, it's £5. I'm not going to change that. I'm not going to make it more expensive. I think that's unfair. I'm not going to stop doing the quotes from press conferences for Twitter because I think it's unfair. I think that people should be able to access that sort of thing for free. The stuff that's behind a paywall is the slightly more special stuff. The stuff that you would sort of want to listen to on a one-off basis. Slightly more special content. Going to be going out and about, doing more content, more fans. I wouldn't say fan cams as such, but something very similar. There are a lot of new people in the Fulham space sort of trying to do their own thing, of course, and obviously that's fantastic, and I encourage it because I think more Fulham fans should do it. But in terms of Patreon, the access that I get, it's very, it's very, what's the word? I'm very grateful for the access that I get, and I should put the Patreon link in the descriptions of live streams too. Yes, I should. If you scroll down to your YouTube stream, you'll actually see a link there with the Patreon logo, which is that little sort of black and white P. The link's in my Twitter bio. I sometimes feel like I plugging Patreon is almost like, I think I said it the other day, sort of just going around with a tin can to people saying, "Can anyone spare any?" It's not about that. It's genuinely, it's for Fulham fans. It will only be for Fulham fans, which is obviously a niche market, obviously. But I think people really would benefit from it. And you can request content if you want to say, "Oh, could you do that?" I can see it. I must be blind. Well, hopefully you subscribe because, once I hit 100, which is fantastic, I did hit 100 subscribers. It hasn't lifted off as much as I thought it was going to do. And obviously, I think a lot of factors play into that. I think that pre-season is a really good opportunity to get really good access. Literally, like the game against Benfica last summer, where I was literally pitch side with the whole team as they lifted the trophy. I mean, that's just a moment I would never forget. And then managed to speak to Bernd Leno that night and Smith Rowe, I think, the game after. So yeah, I would love for people to jump on. It's fantastic. It's a £5 a month. I mean, to put it into context, I went to the pub yesterday. I bought a pint and it cost me £7.20. Cost me £7.20. If you pay a £5 a month for Patreon, you're getting daily Fulham content. No, I keep saying that. It's not okay. It's not going to be daily. It's going to be 5 times a week minimum. There might be a day where I don't post anything because there's no need to. So over the last few weeks, you're probably thinking, why would I subscribe to Patreon during the summer? Nothing's happening. I believe you me, a lot of things are happening. Okay, so like on days where you just don't hear any Fulham news at all, there's no point uploading. Like there's nothing to say unless you come up with your own idea. But right now it's very transfer focused. Once the season starts, of course, I reckon it will. I'm not going to advertise it as daily Fulham content, but I reckon I will probably pretty much upload every day because there's always stuff happening. Yeah, so I thought I'd plug it again. I'm going to keep doing it over the summer. I'm going to keep live streaming. I'm going to keep plugging it. So if you people are getting bored of it, I apologize. But if you subscribe, then we have nothing. You won't have anything to complain about. And I hopefully you enjoy. Everyone who's on the Patreon absolutely loves the content as well. I don't want to toot my own horn, but you also have to toot your own horn to get anywhere in life. It's a grind. Obviously, people have their own journeys in terms of what they do for their career. I was in a job where I was fairly comfortable, but I thought that I was in a job where it was the dream. It was a dream. It was a job where it was literally going to Premier League fixtures, Europa League fixtures, FA Cup fixtures, week in, week out, press conferences every week, and it's still. It was great. I loved it, but I didn't enjoy the fact that I couldn't get to see my club Fulham. I missed one game against United. We won 2-1, and I thought that is it. There's no way I'm missing another game. And I had talks with them. I told them I want to be a Fulham journalist only, and thank you so much for giving me the platform to be able to be a part of the journalism world and to have a media pass and stuff. They said, look, good luck. We hope it goes well for you. I knew that financially I'd be taking a huge hit, starting basically your own business, which is basically going to start from the ground up. Luckily, I have stuff like Fulhamish, and I have other projects. If you want to follow me on TikTok, I'll be uploading today at Sleeper Fulham. So that's fun. I have like 400 odd followers on TikTok. That's really fun. I upload a few times a week. I'll upload as soon as I'm done here actually on TikTok. Yeah, I'm going to spend these last few minutes just plugging stuff just because I need to. So yeah, when I started the Patreon a year ago, I knew it was going to be a risk financially, but to be able to go to, I think I worked out last night, I went to 37 Premier League games with Fulham. Overall, it was like 40. It was like, so I went to like 70 games last season with under 21s as well, because I'm still going to do under 21s. That's also something you get on Patreon, which you probably don't see anywhere else. Went to about 87 press conferences, which is insane. 87. All Marco Silva as well. I think I missed 2 pre-match. So for City, I missed pre-match, and Villa away missed pre-match, and then missed post-match of Villa away as well because I wasn't there. I'm planning on doing all 38 next season plus cups, as long as the press pass is there. And yeah, the content's going to be bigger. It's going to be better. And I can't wait. It's the best job in the world, man, to cover Fulham. This is obviously the most frustrating time of the year because obviously there's no football and you're sort of waiting on news and you're waiting on bits of information in order to create content and in order to get excited. But at least now we have the first step in the right direction, which is the fixture list. I'm going to go and sit and analyze it a little bit more on my own, make some content for Patreon, might do some YouTube stuff as well later today. So please do subscribe to YouTube. That's completely free. But Patreon is the place to be. And yeah, it's... oh yeah, I've got a couple of comments on Patreon for people reacting to the fixture release. What does everyone think of the fixtures? I'm going to have a little read of Twitter. Thank you so much. Spooky Luke, thank you so much for subscribing to Patreon. Thank you very much. Yeah, we'd love to get more people through the door. I think that it's going to be a big year for Patreon. Huge year. absolutely humongous year. So yeah, any people subscribing, thank you. So I'm guessing Spooky Luke is big sexy man on YouTube. I've seen you in the last couple of streams. Thank you so much for subscribing. I think you'll really enjoy the content. The community is lovely, and yeah, I think you've probably heard enough of me now. By now, we've been live for just over 1 hour as well. I'm going to go and have some breakfast, analyze the fixture list, which is quite daunting. So Brighton away, United at home, Chelsea away, Leeds at home, Brentford at home, Villa away. Is that the first 6? Oh, I don't even know if it's saved. I think that's the first 6. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back with another live stream whenever some sort of big news drops. Probably transfers. I don't think I'll go live for the new kits. I mean, that's just, you don't need to do that. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. Over 1,000 people tuned in. I'm sure 1,000 people aren't watching right now. But have a great day at work. Have a great day yourselves. We'll speak again very, very soon. And thank you so much for being here. It's been fantastic. Take care, guys. Come on, Fulham.